I'm here with David Homsy. He's a gemologist. There's only maybe one other person that does that in Arkansas. So it's really special that we get to be here. We're gonna check out some diamonds. We're gonna check out some rocks, make sure they're valid, make sure I didn't overpay for my wife's jewelry. Most of all, I'm really excited for y'all to get to know this great guy.
So my name is David. I'm a local gemologist in Little Rock. Basically what I do is I help people filter through the gemstones or any gemstone colored stone needs. Us being in Arkansas, people like to dig for rocks and diamonds at the Creator Diamond State Park. And a lot of times they need professional help as to like where to go and what to do with it. A lot of times they'll come see me and I'll validate what they have by testing it.
You're from Boston?
Yes,
so
from Boston.
Did you grow up there?
Yes, I grew up there. And my family, Homsy Jewelers, they have a couple of jewelry stores in the heart of downtown Crossing. Instead of opening up a jewelry store or being part of the jewelry industry, I just wanted to make it more personal. Because I'm very social, I love working with people. Married with 3 kids. I got Caleb who's 6, Luke is 4, and Miriam's 1.
Nice.
Such a blessing in my life. I love them, I love spending time with them.
Where did you meet your wife? Back in Boston?
So back in Boston.
Okay.
I think the biggest part that drew us to Arkansas was the fact that we just wanted to focus on our family. We saw that in Arkansas where it's just a natural state, you know. I'm really excited to really just serve Arkansas. There's a lot of people who don't necessarily know what they have. And they don't know where to turn. And no one's really helping them. This couple of years that I've been in business, I've really just been able to help people.
Can you show us about maybe the typical process? And since we brought in my wife's jewelry today, we can maybe kind of go through that process of like, hey, I want to find out if what I have is real.
And I do this a lot. For example, somebody will come in like that and has something that they don't understand what it is. Now, they can't necessarily go to a jewelry store because a jewelry store, you're going to be interacting with a salesperson. The salesperson knows what they're selling, but they don't know what you have. I also sell, but I sell on a private level. So someone will come in, they'll have what you have, and they'll want to get it authenticated. I'll greet them, meet them, and introduce them to my office, my wife and everything. We'll sit down at my desk. I'll go through what they have. I'll do testing, whether it be gold testing, refractometer testing, which I'll show you, different things so that I can narrow down what they have. And then eventually they'll want an appraisal for insurance purposes. I can have the connections in the industry where I can bring in literally anything. But right now, colorless stones are big. Everybody wants a colorless stone for their engagement ring or whatever it is. Nowadays, you're seeing a lot of like diamonds, moissanites, CZs, even like lab diamonds and things like that are coming up in our industry. All right, so this is from one of my diamond manufacturers. And the cool thing is like I can just call and they send very easily.
Yeah, you got all access pass to some of the best high-end jewelry options across the world.
Yes, and that doesn't come easily. That comes over the course of trust built over the years.
Wow.
So this one, about 30,000. High quality, like super beautiful diamond.
What would you do if I just swallowed this right now?
It was a little bit higher quality than some of the other ones. The thing is, you can't necessarily see it. When we judge color, I'll show you, I have like color grading. And so I'll go through each and I'll try to figure out what the color is. And so this is high color and high clarity, which makes it very expensive.
When someone says it has a higher color, does that mean it's like got more rainbow, like more color range, or like a more vibrancy?
It just means that it's higher on the colored scale, which means it's more expensive. Basically, in our industry, we aim for colorless. Being a colorless diamond is really sought after. So like a D-colored diamond, that's what we want.
It reminds me of the art industry, where some of it's kind of a perceived value. It's like, it is valuable because there's enough people that would pay more for that difference. Hey, I'm willing to pay an extra 10 grand for this much less, color in my diamond.
Trust me, people do, because people got the money. They work hard for their whole life. They want to give that significant other something of value, and they want to feel good about it. And so that's where that comes in. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, if I go up another 2 color grades, that's probably another $10,000. But like, that's okay with me because I know I'm getting the highest quality.
And it's going to hold value. It seems like that these rocks are, as far as like investments goes, it's not something I've ever seen depreciate.
No.
If you buy it at a retail level, there's an immediate depreciation, just like when you drive it off the car lot.
That's anything in life, though.
But if you're getting
at the retail level, if you get a good deal, you get a sweet deal, you're buying wholesale, you know someone in the industry, you know, the jeweler wants to take care of you, the gemologist wants to work with you, then yes. I mean, then you'll be profitable in reselling or trading up or anything.
Yeah, or giving to your grandkids and knowing that it was,
there's value there. Yeah. All right, so let's figure out what the value is on your stone.
Oh my gosh.
In order for me to figure out how much it is, I need to know what it weighs, and I can figure that too. There's a specific formula that I can calculate based on its length, width, and depth. I don't even need to put it in the scale because you're like, well, how can I weigh this thing?
Because it's got
the gold on
and
it.
all that. Yeah.
That's where a gemologist comes in. All right, so what we'll do is we'll take the length, which is 9.27, and then we'll take the width, 7.6. When someone really loves what they do, they're more passionate about it, and then people flock to them. It's like, well, I can see that you love what you do. I want to work with you. That's what people tell me. It's like, I can see that you love what you do. I want to work with you. I want you to make a ring. This ring, this was custom made for a $50,000 Pariba tourmaline, which was like a very, very special thing that I designed for someone.
Wow.
The ring itself is about $15,000, just the ring, and the stone is $50,000. You know, I love doing that stuff.
So cool.
And they wanted to work with me because I had met them on an appraisal, and from that appraisal, they saw my passion for gemstones, and they said, find us a gemstone, and a Pariba tourmaline is a very rare natural gemstone. It's kind of like an electric blue, like a deep sea blue. It's like gorgeous.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
Gorgeous. We found the stone. We custom made the setting. That's the wax resin of the setting, and we put it all together for them, and they were so happy. This is high color. I'm gonna put it at G color.
Okay.
And the way that we grade color is through a color scale system that you saw over there. This is pretty clear. I don't really see like bright whites or yellows kind of sticking out. Usually I go GH just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
This is very clear. So clear that there are no spots. So I'm gonna put this at the VS1 level, which is very slightly included to the first degree. So there's flawless, there's internally flawless, VVS1, VVS2, VS1, which is where this one is, VS2, SI1, SI2, and then included at the bottom end of the range. This formula is to figure out like how to calculate what I'm about to do. It's really just simple math, yeah. I'll show you. But you need to know how to take the measurements. So in this case, we have a radian cut. We take the length, width, depth, and the adjustment factor, and then you multiply by that adjustment factor to figure out the weight. 9.27 divided by 7.6. So it's a 1.21 ratio, which is good. You want a ratio around 1.3. So visually, it looks appealing. So as a buyer and a gemstone dealer, like, that's what I look for. Yeah, it's got curb appeal, there you go. I know you know that.
Oh yeah.
9.27, the moment of truth, times 7.6, times 5.13, times 0.0092. So, my calculations, it's not being weighed, okay? The weight is the ultimate factor.
Sure.
But it's like plus or minus, like, I'm gonna give my number plus or minus 10%, 3.3 carats.
Okay. Yeah. I actually should ask Casey. So I don't even know. I think that we had asked for a 3.
A little over 3,
yeah.
Probably, right? Yeah. Here's the other thing. So now we have to figure out value. In this Rappaport price list, there are 2 different categories. There's round price list, and it breaks it down into different categories based on weight. So you'll see here, and the reason why is because they're just magic numbers, basically. So 0.9 to 0.99, 1 carat to 1.49, 1.5 to 1.99. That's how diamonds are broken up. Every time you break a carat weight, you're in a different price per carat. Diamonds are more expensive. So this is 20,000 per carat. 20,000 times 3.3 is
That's great.
66,000.
That's more like it. Yeah. That's more than I paid.
Good. It should be more than you paid.
Yes.
You want to know that you got a deal.
Right.
Now,
because we're buying from a wholesaler.
Yes, and so that's the key here.
Yeah.
Goes back to what we talked about.
Totally.
Like if you're buying from the right place, then your number is going to be below this number, which is what you want.
Right. Oh,
People
yeah.
just tend to go to pawn shops, but the thing with a pawn shop is they can't do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They're gonna put the ring on a scale, right there, and they'll give you a scrap gold price for the ring, and they have to make calls to other people to figure out what the diamond's worth. They can't give you that. And so really, you're left with working with a wholesaler, not just like selling locally. And so I can see diamonds from China. I can see diamonds from India. like Belgium, like all on this network. Now, not everyone has access to this, and you have to prove, you know, your worth in the industry in order to get onto this network. Not necessarily. You don't necessarily need to take, you know, or be a gemologist to be a part of this network.
Oh, I see.
You just need to have the trust built in the industry, you know, a business and, you know, a name in the industry where people can trust you. That's the big thing. You know, if there's a diamond in China, which a lot of them are either China or India, that they want to ship to you, they don't know you unless they call other references. Now they do know you because you've made a name for yourself in the industry, and they will send you the diamonds. So there is a network, Jewelers Board of Trade, and that network does keep track of my businesses and all the transactions yearly. Just like MLS, you know, you have realtors that like list their listings on MLS, but you see the name, you're like, well, I don't want to work with that person.
Exactly right.
Because I know what they're up to.
That's right.
And so it's the same thing with diamonds. On RapNet, like I'll list diamonds, people will list diamonds, and I'll see the name, and I'm like, no, I'm not buying diamonds from that person. Or I don't want to work with that person.
In case you hadn't heard, today David's giving away a $30,000 diamond. Not really. We're going to invite you to give David a call if you have a special rock that you want to verify its authenticity, its color grade, if you want to get it appraised. Anytime that you have anything related to gemology, be sure to give David a call. Let him know the Rackley team sent you.